All right, I don't have a name for my segment either. We'll just call it, I guess, Mummy in your tummy.
Hey, look at that. Come
That's pretty
on.
nice.
Yeah.
They're all
What y'all
along.
know about eating the dead?
No, I mean, I prefer them to be dead, I guess.
Yeah, I prefer my things to be dead. I don't eat a lot of live things.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I see where this is going, and I definitely don't eat mummies. Never come to, not to my knowledge.
Well, here's the thing I found. There's a whole bunch of different good ways to use the long preserved dead to
Whoa.
aid in your health.
In my
But
incantations.
this is a thing coming from Merck, the pharmaceutical company, the worldwide
Oh, well,
I mean,
pharmaceutical company Merck.
okay.
I'm on board.
Uh, from an article from the emdgroup.com. I don't know who that is, but I guess they're related to Merck. It says, our corporate archive has skeletons in its closet, literally.
Uh-oh.
The mummy
Nice
parts
start.
that are now the mummy parts that are now exhibited in a climate-controlled chamber at the archive at Merck were regarded as a miraculous medicine called Mumia vera aegyptica well into the 20th century.
Uh-oh.
After being exhibited in various museums all over the world, the mummies were returned to Darmstadt, which
Nice.
is where Merck KGaA is housed, I guess.
Don't
Sabine,
Sorry.
Sabine Bernschneider Reif, head of corporate history at Merck KGaA, Darmstadt, Germany, remembers finding a glass box encased in wood on one of her first days on the job in Darmstadt in 1999. Quote, crammed into the box were two heads, a bandage of feet, and a single uncovered foot, she recalls.
Uh-oh.
Wait, I mean,
Uh-oh.
yep, uh-oh.
I found a big box of mummy parts back here. Is anybody gonna know?
Okay.
Okay.
Just
She
kicks
was
them
not
to this
shocked.
wall. I'll deal with that tomorrow. That's tomorrow's problem.
Yeah, I imagine you can find a lot of medical problems in the Darmstadt, Germany archives.
Sure. Or you probably wouldn't find them.
Yeah.
Say
They're
all
in the
burned.
archive for...
If you don't know what happened to them.
She was not shocked by this discovery. Thanks to her degree in pharmacology and PhD in the history of pharmacology, she was familiar with its label, Mumia vera aegyptiaca. Mummy parts from Egypt were used as medicine until the earliest 20th century, she explained. As late as 1924, a kilogram of mummy powder cost 12 gold marks, according to the price list of Firma E. Merck Darmstadt, Germany.
What the fuck
That's
are
more
you
than the price of
doing?
olive oil.
What are you doing with mummy powder in 1924?
Well, they're selling it to people.
That
and
is
making them
too
better.
recent. That is too recent to think. Is this like bog bod? Do you mix it up? Is it like a protein?
I imagine in like
Shake?
Bog you can take it any way. There's no preferred method to
Oh.
put mummy parts inside of you.
Oh, just get it in you. Bummer. No, not like
How
that
to
though.
use mummy powder.
How do you use mummy powder?
Oh, we're gonna get there. Don't worry.
No.
Mummies preserved for eternal life. Today it seems odd and a bit macabre, but mummy powder has been treated as a healing substance in medical literature since the 16th century. Paracelsus, 1493 to 1541, may have had mummies in mind when he assigned the name mumia to what was thought to be the vital force. The Persian word mum, meaning wax, migrated into Arabic and from there into other languages. It refers to asphalt, one of the materials sometimes used to preserve mummies.
Mm-hmm.
In the later history of pharmacology, some of the disinfectant resins and asphalt elements formerly used for embalming were successfully used to treat wounds. Thus, a grain of truth was added to the belief in the miraculous properties of mummy powder. People also initially believed that only miracles could have preserved certain mummies in an almost frighteningly lifelike state for thousands of years.
Yeah.
For example, Scythian mummies preserved in permafrost, bog bodies discovered in Europe, and mummies in the Taklamakan Desert in Central Asia. Whereas corpses traditionally buried in graves soon crumble into dust, mummies seem to carry at least a spark of something resembling life.
Crazy. I
Indeed.
mean, it makes sense.
Also,
If
mummy
if
powder.
mummy's magic.
Mummy powder you apply to the skin or mixed into drink.
Yeah.
No, no.
For bruising and other ailments.
Hey, welcome. Hey, nice to see you, Pete. Come on in. Can I get you a drink? What do you drink? Tom Collins, Mummy and vodka. What do you like?
Adam in the Zoom room says you cut cocaine with it.
Yeah, good God, right?
Exactly. You can do whatever you want with mummy
Well,
powder. You can put it in your Jamba Juice. It's one of those like shots of wheatgrass the lead.
Mummy boost.
Yeah.
What would you guys? Let's pause right here.
Sure.
How would you take mummy? Let's say tomorrow, the doctor is like, this is going to sound insane, but they were right. Merc was right. If you take this mummy powder, it'll solve whatever ails you. What are you going with? You have
topical.
2 cc's.
Topical. I'm gonna rub it on my bruises, my rashes.
Oh, and just stink like mummy.
Yep. I mean, I already stink like me. Why not a mummy?
Throw those pastes
Fair
on.
enough.
Okay, sure.
I am thinking pastry filling.
Interesting kind of a Danish.
Jam it up, inject it into put it in a Twinkie. You know, I ain't fancy.
Oh,
I already spent all my money on this mummy powder.
Yikes. Oh, what a bummer. I'm imagining it. It's like a gray paste. Ugh. Inside of a Twinkie, wrapped in a little
Bacon.
Yeah, a little bacon. Yeah, okay.
I mean, it sounds good, to be honest. You're making my mouth water.
I think in order to just get this thing done and taken care of, oh God,
Suppository?
I mean, it's an option, isn't it?
Injection?
The kids are boofing. The kids are boofing at the EDM concerts. They have somebody blow it up your butt with a straw. Somebody you trust and love. I wouldn't have to taste it. I guess that's the best way to do it. Boof it. Hit me with it.
Boof your mummy powder.
My girlfriend sure as hell won't do it. I'm gonna have to find someone on TaskRabbit.
What a weird $5 task to do.
I need you to help me boof this mummy sauce. Don't ask me why. No eye contact, please.
I mean, there won't be. You'll be staring at my butt.
Well, that's an eye of sorts.
Listen, when you open the door, all you're gonna see is butt under a sheet. Do what you need to do. Okay, carry on.
This combination of properties must have exerted a great fascination on the superstitious people of the Middle Ages.
Sure.
The principle that, quote, like is healed by like is a fundamental principle that underlies homeopathy and also, for example, the belief that a man's potency can be heightened by consuming powdered rhinoceros horn.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
If you eat a person, you become as healthy as that person.
Yeah, or if you want your dick to get hard, you want to eat something as hard as what your dick should
like
be
a
hard
dick.
as.
Well, why don't you just eat like a stick? Or also
But then your dick's all like wonky looking. I want it to be like just rhino horn up.
It's got a branch coming off of it with a weird peach.
Yeah, you don't want your dick looking like that.
Weird Pinocchio ass dick. Yeah, I guess so. But also, I feel like and I will throw shade on traditional medicine here. That horn is not. You don't think that's the rhino's dick, do you?
That's what I was thinking. Like, wait, did they think that was a? Just like nudge it up in there.
Yeah, that's how they do it. Have you ever seen them? No, I wouldn't want to watch that. Okay, well, fair enough.
In the early modern era, attitudes toward the healing art underwent a change. In 1739, Johann Heinrich Zedler came close to calling mummy powder a placebo in his Universal Lexicon when he wrote, "Let those believe it who want to and can."
All right, well, that's close to admonishing something, I suppose.
Yes. Nonetheless, this belief persisted for a long time, promoting a brisk business that encouraged counterfeiting. The mummy parts in our collection are genuine, however, says Bernstein Ref. Yeah, there are a lot of fake mummy powder out there.
Come on, we gotta mummify these raccoons by next Friday. People are buying up mummies.
Imagine being such a connoisseur of mummy powder that you can identify the fake powder.
Yeah, this isn't mummy. This is horse. This is somebody dried out a horse.
This has been clear ever since they were displayed in a major exhibition at the Rice Engelhorn Museums in Mannheim. Before they were exhibited, they were examined in a computer tomograph at the University Clinic in Mainz, among other things. At the ETH Zurich, radiocarbon dating showed that they were buried around 270 BC, she says. Crazy. So the mummy powder that Merck was selling well into the 20th century, legit.
Legit. Rock hard dick mummy powder.
People are insane. It's so insane that this was a craze, that they were like, oh, they're going into those tombs? Fucking all right. Let's just start mining them like the mummies are fucking coal in a mine. Pull them out. We'll mix them in our drink. We'll use them for whatever. We'll shine our cars with them. Fuck it. Those mummies are ours now. What a weird instinct.
I have that instinct a little bit to where, like, well, I mean, you're dead. What do you care?
I guess you want to see what's in there, especially if it's like the mummies were buried with like treasure, and it's like, hey, listen, man, I know you had had a whole religion and stuff, but times are tight out here. We need this treasure right now.
That's what I'm all about.
I get that a little bit. What I don't get is like, well, pull the mummies out and grind them up and use them for hair tonic, and it's a marvelous new resource. And like, what the fuck are you doing? Slow down. How many mummies does that guy have on that cart? What are you doing with those? Those were people.
You've never been in first stage capitalism looking for a new product for your topical line.
I haven't, but I'd like to think I'd draw the line at mummy sauce.
It is no longer possible to determine how these relics came to be in the Merck KGaA Darmstadt, Germany collection.
Yeah.
Did they come from the Engel Apotheke or Angel Pharmacy, the origin of Merck KGaA Darmstadt, Germany?
Oh, this got really...
This article every time says
state.
Darmstadt, Germany.
Yeah.
I think they have to legally, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, you might be right.
Did Johann Anton Merck bring them back to Darmstadt from one of his extended journeys in the 1770s?
We don't know.
Or were they found by Willy Merck, the head of the company's factory production, in his search for new drugs that started in 1887?
Willy Merck, the loopy leader of the factory, huh? He's the Willy Wonka.
I'm not gonna lie. Having read Rainbow and the Serpent or Serpent and the Rainbow and seen the movie, yes. Pharmaceutical companies are this insane to be like, I've heard legend of a zombie-like substance.
That movie was great.
It is. It is. But it very much is that, like, there's a company who's sending you out to find, like, something absurd.
Yes.
Dude, that's how S.C. Johnson Wax started. Like, there was the patriarch of the Johnson Company. He was on a crazy, like, mountaineering adventure.
Wow.
And found this crazy wax and then stole it all from all of the whatever natives lived there, and then started a company.
Now it's mine. It's mine.
They own I believe they own the city of Racine, Wisconsin, among other things.
Back off. It's mine. This is a gun. Go away. It's mine.
This means it's mine, unless your gun's bigger.
Do you have a gun? Didn't think so. It's mine.
So 1887, it says, was the year in which the so-called product began to appear regularly in the company's business records. So before 1887, before crazy Willy Merck decided to make it a real thing, it was just black market Merck product, mummy powder.
Okay.
Apparently. And then they got legit.
And they got the real shit.
No, they did. They already had the real shit, but they paid for it through legal means, it sounds like.
There it is. Yeah.
2 years later, the first American edition of Merck KGaA, Darmstadt, Germany's index, emphasized the drug's authenticity by offering it expressly as, quote, mummy, true Egyptian.
Because, like, there's mummy Peruvian, there's mummy Chinese, but I'm looking for that good, true Egyptian shit.
Good shit. I just need a hit. Do you even have like a cat or a crocodile? I'll fucking take whatever right now, man.
That's the Merck mummy powder story, which did lead me to a slightly different the process of mellification. This is another mummy eating thing you can do. This is an article from strangeremains.com. How to make honey-infused corpse medicine.
Oh no. Go on.
I want it to be dip finger in honey.
Rub on gums of corpse.
Turns out this is the right way really to eat your mummy powder.
Okay.
With a good little bit of honey helps your mummy powder go down.
Interesting. You mix it with honey. Okay.
Yeah. Corpse medicine is a type of remedy produced by the bones, organs, and blood from dead bodies. It's mentioned in ancient medical texts and histories from Greece, China, Mesopotamia, and India. One of the more peculiar accounts is from the 16th century Chinese Materia Medica, which is also known as the Benkao Gengmu, written by Li Shichen, in which Li Shichen describes an ancient Arabic recipe to make a medicine called mellified man.
Yes, mellified man. I have heard about this.
Yes, to make mellified man, an elderly man volunteered to mummify himself from the inside out with honey until he died.
Cool.
But his corpse was placed in a coffin filled with honey.
Yikes.
After 100 years, his coffin was opened and his remains were harvested for medicine.
Crazy.
Here's a quote from the book Stiff by Mary Roach. In Arabia, there are men 70 to 80 years old who are willing to give their bodies to save others. The subject does not eat food. He only bathes and partakes of honey. After a month, he only excretes honey. The urine and feces entirely are honey, and
Yikes.
Death follows.
Yikes.
His fellow men place him in a stone coffin full of honey in which he macerates. The date is put upon the coffin, or macerate. I mean, if he can, I guess.
Sorry,
that's
I couldn't
usually
let that joke slide.
Yeah. The date is put on the coffin, giving the year and month. After 100 years, the seals are removed. A confection is formed, which is used for the treatment of broken and wounded limbs. A small amount taken internally will immediately cure the complaint.
Crazy. It'll fix broken bones?
Broken bones.
So is this shit on the market? Like, could I go to like Silk Road and find some mellified man?
Maybe it's Silk Road.
Wow, scary.
It's definitely possible. Li Chen states that he does not know if the report of mellified men is true, and there's no archaeological proof that I know of the practice, but there is plenty of evidence that corpses were harvested for medicine, honey was used for medicine and embalming, and self-mummification were each practiced separately. Let's see. For hundreds of years, cultures from all over the world used corpse medicine to treat all kinds of illnesses and injuries, including bruises, coughs, palsy, and vertigo. English physicians treated Henry VIII with medicines made from mummies. And the Pharmacopoeia Londinensis of 1618 includes preparations made with mummies. So definitely from the 12th to the 18th centuries, mummies were commonly sold in European apothecaries, but the use of mummies in medieval medicine may have been caused by a tragic misinterpretation. This is kind of a funny mix-em-up. Naturally occurring bitumen, the Persians called mumia, which was mentioned earlier in the mukbang, was used by ancient physicians in medications for all kinds of illnesses. Because Egyptian embalming resins looked similar to bitumen, artificially preserved bodies from Egypt became known as mummies.
You stupid assholes. You fucking dumb dicks.
Historians believe medieval physicians began to use Egyptian mummies in prescriptions because they either mistook the word for naturally occurring bitumen for mummified corpses, or they simply used crushed mummies when naturally occurring bitumen became scarce.
Fucking medieval moron. What are you doing? You're crushing up mummies? You dingus? Unbelievable. Hilarious.
Hilarious.
What a goof, huh? Oh, forgot to carry the one. Now we're eating people. You fucking idiot.
Mistranslations have led to some of the greatest instances of human stupidity.
Just check. Oh, if it sounds crazy, check it again. Are you sure it means people? Are you sure the book says this?
Did you ask an Egyptian, maybe, who knows the language better?
No, of course you didn't. Okay, well, crush it up.
Crush it up, then.
And I guess there was an ancient Sumerian and Egyptian tradition of using honey in using it in both the embalming a little bit, and then also as to treat skin diseases and protect wounds from infection, which actually works because apparently it has a small amount of natural hydrogen peroxide.
Oh, crazy.
Honey does.
Yeah, honey's good at killing things and feeding things.
So there was something to it besides just they went, Mumia, that looks like this what's on this mummy.
All right, well, it's a start.
Supposedly Alexander the Great was submerged in a golden sarcophagus filled with honey to preserve it. And if you recall from last week's, I think, Grave Nugget, Alexander the Great's possible uncovered body may have ushered in 2,000 years of darkness.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So yeah, I mean that's pretty much we've covered the eating of mummies, I think, for the most part.
Sure.
From mellified men to Merrick until 1927.
Hell yeah.
Put some mummy in your tummy.
Thanks.
And heal up.
That's a pretty good segment name. Put some mummy in your tummy.
I love it. I'm never eating again. Certainly not mummy. Not the way I used to. Not again.
Not again. Well, should we wrap up with mine?
Let's wrap it up.
Yes, let's do it.
Well, I didn't go mummies. I went monster.
That's good. You know, we need to keep on topic. Somebody needs to go monster.
For everybody last week that thought we did too much monster in the main.
Yeah.
So I found something from charlestonterrors.com.
Monster on Main.
And it is titled The Loveland Frog Man, Ohio's most famous cryptid.
Yeah. I'd say that's pretty accurate.
Posted by blogger in Charleston Terrors. What is the Loveland Frogman?
Well, you take a man, a frog, a man and a frog love each other very much.
It says, and it's descriptive but not as beautiful as that. Imagine that Kermit got a taste for bath salts and simply decided to go all deliverance on his porky paramour.
Okay, all right. Pretty good.
All right, I'm imagining it. It's hilarious.
Full banjo crescendo.
Yet.
Miss Piggy running around as if she had just been seen by the devil. Gonzo with one of those fancy bow and arrows. Fozzie dead on the ground with his body ripped to grisly grit while animals feast upon his entrails. Oh,
damn.
The humanity. That's the
He's
start for this 4-foot frog. Oh, it goes on, though. Beaker's flipping a chainsaw in the air.
Okay.
And then it goes meta. My editor just knocked on the door and told me I'm mixing my metaphorical movie moxie and, to quote, off the tangent, man.
Okay.
First of all, I love that this posted by blogger gentleman has an editor.
Yeah.
But I did like that metaphor. I think you did good, sir.
Yeah. But he still publishes them.
Is he narrating this as he's typing?
I guess so, man. It's one of those situations like in Monty Python when they're in the Beast of Unspeakable Horror and he writes out, ah.
Does he actually say, oh?
It's written here.
That's what it says. You don't take the time to write out, oh, do you?
Anyway, back to the program is something that's literally written in the article.
Nice.
They knew that we would talk about this.
Yeah.
The Loveland Frog, or Rana serictus, also known as the Loveland Frog Man or the Loveland Lizard in a rather novel Ohio folklore icon. Truly doubt Dylan is making a song about it, him or her. It is a legendary humanoid toad or frog that prowls the romantic oft-times melancholic nights of Loveland, Ohio. The creature supposedly stands upright at 4 feet. It has been the subject of much debate. Is it real? Is it a frog or a toad? What happened in 1972? Is there a bounty on its head? And more importantly, to some old-timers, was bathtub moonshine involved in its fertile, imaginative offspring?
I'm going to say yes to all.
Yeah,
I like the person who went past, is it real? But then asked, is it a frog or a toad, though?
Yeah, in the press release.
If it's some kind of 4-foot toad man, we can use him for a lick stick, and we can get all kinds of fucked up when we're doing our moonshine in the bathroom. But if it's just a frog boy.
Yeah, question in the back here, moonshine, skirt plumply, moonshine times. Is it a frog or a toad, though? Because I heard it's a toad. And if it's a toad, then do any of us need to be here?
And by the way, what happened in 1972?
I'll withdraw my question.
The University of Cincinnati. Nope. The University of Cincinnati. Nope. University of Cincinnati folklore professor.
Don't help him.
Edgar Slotkin compared the Loveland Frog to Paul Bunyan. The creature gaining certain notoriety as a folklore legend in the same vein as Paul, Old Stormalong, and the Chupacabra. Slotkin studied the phenomenon and even graphed the sightings.
You guys know who Stormalong is?
Oh, barely.
He's cool. He's like a Paul Bunyan.
Yeah, no, he's come up in this very podcast.
Then I need to pay more attention to the podcast. He noted that the stories have not only been passed down through generations, but that most reports of the Loveland Frogman come from predictable cycles. Now we enter the segment called the Loveland Froggy Ballad.
The Frogman cycle.
Which is the best Ohio has to compete with the Icelandic sagas.
Yes.
The legend of the Frogman can be traced back to post-war era rocking 50s.
Nice.
Stories started popping out, tales that differed slightly from one another, about a massive frog causing all manners of mischief.
But one thing was for sure, from coast to coast, kids were doing the Frogman.
And you can go to this website. It has
talk about the rockin' 50s. Like Glenn Miller is still a martyr in the 1950s. They were not rockin'.
This Charleston Terrace has a picture of the monster. CharlestonTerrace.com. You can find the Loveland Frogman very easily, and it's a humanoid-like creature. It's very grainy, so it's hard to tell things, but it's a large frog in this water.
Now, do you know the story of that picture?
I don't. Do you?
I do know the story of that picture. You're talking about the one that was taken in 2009?
By Sam Jacobs?
By Sam Jacobs. That is a picture that was taken by a kid playing Pokemon Go. So it must have been 2016.
Okay, so I have a story about that as well. Go on.
Yes. Do you want me to wait?
Yeah, wait, because it ends this segment.
Yes, keep go ahead.
Okay, so blah blah blah. It's like the Mothman or Chupacabra. Everyone's having fun in the spread. The Loveland Frogman has more or less become an icon of an era where UFOs were becoming a thing. Pulp sci-fi movies were hot. And America's
youth still allowed to date 16-year-olds.
I mean, Roy Moore's still trying. Roy? How do English words work again? I've been speaking Cthulhian horror for a while now, and I forgot some things.
You're killing it.
America's youth was starting to envision that Woodstock and all those psychedelics might do to their system.
Yeah.
The tales start off more or less the same. It's a balmy May 5th evening. A businessman and traveling salesman, or Bible seller, it's not sure which, is driving all by his lonesome self along a long, dark, unmanned road. And now the story starts to diverge, 3 distinct retellings. In one story, the motorist is heading out of Branch Hill neighborhood when he shines his car headlights on the huge figures, more than one frogman. The trio erected on their hind legs, just standing in the middle of the road. The man honks his horn, the figures perk up, twist their necks around, and all 3 look at the driver with their leathery skin and frog faces.
Hey, get the heck out of here, you frogs! Come on! I got an affair to get to.
I just put my normal family to sleep. It's now time to see Secret Family.
Hey, come on! Secret Family's waiting for me! Honk honk!
The other version goes like this. The motorist spots the creature under the Loveland Bridge, one of many going under the Little Miami River. He honks his horn. The creatures shoot out from under the bridge. One lands on his hood and croaks. The driver then passes out, as I probably would do the same. I'd be like, nope.
Yeah. Nope. Your response, night-night.
Night-night. Version 3. Same bridge. The motorist pulls over, gets out of his car, and spots the creatures. All three conversing animatedly. Or animatedly?
Animately. Yeah. Animatedly. Sure.
Like they're all like big hands talking with them. Yeah. The driver calls out to them. One of the Loveland Frogmen gets up, points his fingers at his friends in the universal gesture of put a pin in it.
Whoa, crazy.
Turns to the bothersome intruder. Can't you see we're holding a conversation? How rude. Holds out a wand over its head and flicks the Harry Potter approved apparatus, a blazing fire of spark cannons out of the wand. The motorist flees the scene. That third story is straight up insane.
That's bonkers.
No, that story's 100% true. These were three wizards dressed as frogs to conceal their magical nature.
It is the most.
You don't stand out if you're in a frog suit.
It is the most realistic in terms of like a humanoid doing humanoid things. So we're like, shut up, friends. Then turns to it and go, we're holding a conversation. You're rude, sir.
Well, I don't think it actually said that, did it?
It's in quotes, man. It says,
oh, wow.
I guess it's universal gesture of put a pin in it, whatever the fuck that means.
Universal gesture, but yeah.
And then I guess in another universal gesture, the universal gesture of can't you see we're holding a conversation? How rude?
I see. Interesting.
Yes.
Weird. And then it did a magic wand.
And then it did a magic wanding, where it shot fire out of the tip of the wand like a cannon. Now we talk about 1972.
Okay.
The Loveland Frogman v. Loveland Police. The Dawn of Green.
Hell yeah.
On March 3rd, 1972, at 1 a.m., the Loveland Police Department goose marched into the madness. Officer Ray Shockey was gliding his car on Riverside Drive near the Totes Boot Factory and the Little Miami River when a suspicious animal ran across the road in front of his vehicle. He braked his car, hit the steering wheel, and looked on. The animal, now fully illuminated in his patrol car's headlights, blinked at Shockey, who was having a meltdown true to his name. Shockey was in shock.
Oh, jeez, who wrote this? Fucking.
I just told you, it's posted by Blogger. He has an editor. It told him to lay off the tangents, man.
Blogger and his editor. I forgot. I'm sorry.
Framed in his car's lamp stood the legendary Loveland Frogman. Leathery skin, bright eyes, tongue ready to catch a fly the size of a VW beetle.
What?
I mean, that's a little bit too big for this 4-foot frog.
These things are like 2-3 feet. Yeah.
Yeah. Where's that editor when we need him?
Shockey reported the sighting and stated, "It's crouched like a frog." Before he could ask the mutant amphibian if he knew any kung fu. Don't get that reference. Maybe the song came out that year.
I think he's kind of trying to do a Ninja Turtle thing here, and he's just blowing it.
Phenomenal article.
Trying to go for were those kids kung fu frogging?
That's exactly what he went to. He's now into funky sewer turtles. Amphibians are all the same to this blogger. Mm-hmm. But anyway, going on to the actual account that matters. 2 weeks after the wild incident, a second Loveland police officer, Mark Matthews, did Shockey a solid and reported seeing the unidentified animal, or a unidentified animal, similar to the height and facets that Shockey reported.
Okay.
Matthew, and he was known as a man.
You think it might have been the same frogman?
Or because there was reports of multiple one of the same clan, okay. Because the other ones in the 50s had 3 creatures supposedly in some.
You're right.
Accounts.
I thought it seemed weird for that. That's like
but the ones that
I saw Bigfoot too. You think it was the same guy?
I mean, truly, they probably didn't know about the 50s sightings, and they were literally like Do you think that was the same one? There's a maniac frogman on this bridge.
Sure is. Now there is.
Okay, so blah, blah, blah. Oh, God, things turned. Matthew, a man that wasn't known to overthink things, came out of his car guns blazing.
Yeah!
He shot the animal right between the eyes.
What a great way for people to describe you.
Yeah, he shot the animal right. He shot the animals right between the eyes and double tapped it, Sicario style, just to be certain the Loveland Frogman was on an express trip to the lily pad up in the sky. Matthews then dragged the body into his car. The man wanted to show Shocky his catch of the day.
Check it out, man. I got me another frogman, and it ain't no kid this time.
So here's what happened. According to Matthews, it was a large iguana about 3.5 feet long.
And Shocky wigged out. He went full Shaggy and pumped this thing full of lead.
It was all like, this gotta be what you saw. I'll shoot it for you.
Oh, that's fun.
Now, it looked weird, supposedly, according to Matthews, because the creature didn't have its tail.
Oh, an iguana without a tail.
But
honestly.
a 3-foot iguana without its tail standing upright. Which I had an iguana. Too. They're not known to stand upright.
No, they do that when they run at you.
Oh, they do sometimes, though. You're right about that. Pissy off little creatures, you know?
Still, that doesn't explain getting... Very few iguanas, even fewer iguanas, have access to magic wands than frogmen, I would say.
That's what I was going to say. It doesn't disprove or really... it contradicts, but the iguana story doesn't fit with the exploding wand or the conversation stopping or landing on the hood, like the 4-foot frog that people saw.
I mean, the simple fact of the multiple encounters that people keep reporting the same thing in the same area is like, that's weird.
Mm-hmm. Now we're in 2016, the Pokemon incident that Jordan knows about. Let's see what the author misses, and you'll fill us in. In August 2016, the whole farcical and outlandish chronology of the Loveland Frogman took another turn in the land of wacky. A local Cincinnati TV station reported a night of fun turned into a chilling night of terror. People glued to the television screen, ready to pop some popcorn and pop a pop. This editor needs to be shot.
I hate this person.
The journalist news anchor drills on. Okay. Anyway, 2 Pokemon Go enthusiasts were out hunting a Pikachu in Loveland, Madeira Road, and Lake Isabella. Say that again?
I was about to say, there's no way they were looking for a Pikachu by the Loveland Bridge.
Wasn't a Pikachu. Ridiculous. No. This guy's never played Pokemon Go in his life.
The kids claimed, and this is where the picture that you know about, claimed that a giant frog near the lake stood up and walked on its hind legs.
Yeah.
So I'll post this picture in our Discord too. Follow us if you're watching on Twitch right now. The Discord button's right there. You'll see the 2 pictures I got for this episode.
And it is it's a weird picture. It is a weird fucking really picture. Weird. It looks, here's the thing. The kid did an interview, and if you listen to the interview that he did, his girlfriend was there too. She saw it as well, and they both got pictures of it.
Post it as well.
When you listen to the interview of him, he's like, it was a frog. It was a big fucking frog standing there. I don't know.
There it is. It's on our Twitch now.
I don't know what people believe, but I swear on my grandmother's life, this is what I saw.
It has arms.
Very convincing.
It has arms. Its eyes are glowing.
It does look a little bit like someone in kind of a morph suit with sort of a structure under the head. You could make this costume for sure, but
why use it like this?
But I do believe that if somebody made this costume and went out there to get their photograph taken, I don't think the kid knew about it.
The kid did not know about it. The real tragedy was that those fancy Pokeballs Nintendo included in their IS platform did diddly squat to immense the amphibian. That's the actual line.
Can we write him something?
Let's.
Can we like get him arrested?
But that is the story, some information, the lore, the legend of a cryptid that I have never really heard about, the Loveland Frog Man.
Oh, Loveland Frog Man, you got to get into it. There's
Ohio's most famous cryptid, apparently.
There's a whole culture around the Frogman. If you're just coming to the Frogman scene,
I am.
You're about to enter a wild world of T-shirts and mugs that you never thought existed.
Well, looks like this jiggle for Bigfoot shirt's changing.
Skyline chili.
I mean, truly, I'm into shit like this. I like a good festival, run a cryptid, Mothman Festival, Bigfoot Festival, Chupacabra Festivals. Let's have them all.
Absolutely. This was a good episode, boyos. I feel like we got some real heaters in there. We really informed the people of some paranormal threats and how they should handle them. You know,
paranormal tip for this frogman. I mean, doesn't seem to want to hurt too many things. Just don't interrupt its conversation. There you go. Another one to end.
Take a picture. Enjoy it. You know, you saw the frogman. We're not, this isn't the 50s. Snap a pic like this kid playing Pokemon Go did.
Phone's right there.
Or, you know, unload an entire clip from your officer issued handgun.
Sure. Although they seem to be in possession of some sort of magical field that blocks the bullets. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, he killed an iguana because I think he was too chicken to actually hunt this frogman.
Sure. Yeah. See, that's what happens if you don't.
Okay. All right.
If you don't face the frogman in your life, you'll end up killing a pet iguana. I've seen it 1,000 times. All right, guys, that does it for this week's episode of Werewolf Radar. We're gonna go home to our various homes. I live in a hole. I live in a vertical hole in a
Norquist hole, you would say.
A Norquist hole. In all of our Valheim realms, there is a Norquist hole, which has still yet to be explained to me, because when I first found it, I was like, I saw a sign that said caution Norquist hole. And I said, what's this? And he said, that's the Norquist hole, caution. So now I have one on my Valheim server. If
you can throw things in it, you can do whatever you want. It's your hole.
It's annoyingly useful. We play Mondays around noon. We usually get into it. We'll play some are we doing 2? What are we doing?
We do 2. You know, we'll start around 2. Valhelm is keeping us up in random hours.
Yeah,
we might all be playing it anyway.
Yeah, we might start earlier this week. Who knows? We've all got the bug. It's rare that these games come along when it really sinks your fangs into you.
We got a server that's open to all friends. Friend me and Jordan and Nate. Yeah. You know, you can play with us. Enjoy Werewolf Radarton.
Enjoy Werewolf Radarton.
There's bronze and iron now.
Bronze and iron. Twitch.tv/werewolf_radar.
Yes.
It's simpler than it sounds when you get there, I promise. We have a lot of fun goofing around on video games. Come check us out Mondays, 2 p.m.
Paranormal games only. We're going to hunt some trolls, hunt some Draugr.
We're hunting Draugr. We played Bigfoot the game. We're waiting for Bigfoot the game to get this incredible update that, I mean, with every day that passes, it seems further and further away. We'll see.
Much like the Bigfoot itself.
Phasmophobia, shit like that. Agru, remember that?
Maybe again.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. Shout out to our Dark Council Patron members, Adam P. in the Zoom room. What up? No.
Nate, we're giving it to that charity you mentioned. Can you give a shout out to them?
If I could remember, the full name of the charity was a GoFundMe for Jackson, Mississippi, aid, and I cannot remember the name.
No worries, I got it right here.
And what those guys are talking about is if you are a member of our Patreon Dark Council member,
your money is going to
goes to a different charity every month. And I assume pays for our hosting fees?
It pays for our hosting fees right now. We're going to take some money finally and pay for hosting fees like a real podcast, but the rest goes elsewhere.
We decided to finally pay them, and then the rest goes toward a new charity every month.
And so this month,
thinking about it,
Jackson, Mississippi water crisis.
Far out. Perfect. Hit us up. You can give us $1. You get to hang out in the room, and it's usually a great time on Sunday. So tell your friends about the pod. Rate us on iTunes if you don't want to do any of that other shit. Click us a little 5-star rating. That helps a lot too. And keep hydrated. Watch out for yourself. You don't want to turn into a mellified person. It's called mellified man, but I imagine it can happen to anyone.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong, listeners.
Do you think you could do that?
Mellification is not binary.
Do you think you could do it with cookies? Like, do you think if I just ate cookies for 2 months, I would turn into like Cookie Man?
Yeah, but you'd be like cookie butter, which is still the same process. I feel
that is not making it sound worse.
A big part of it is that at some point you have to excrete only the honey.
Cookies?
So do you think you could only excrete cookie?
Go working on it. All right. Until next time, as always.
Yep. Punch the sky, Spaceman Joe. All right, everyone watching, thank